So, good day, everyone. We are the Group 1. Our report is about Chapter 1 Understanding the Significance of the Rizal Law and the Philippines in the 19th Century. So, these are the reporters for this topic Arcelias Ervijude, Ruelin Amoma, Lenuel Alvarado, Barjan Alalor, and yours truly, Mel Catherine M. Absuelo. So, each reporter will discuss different topics all about chapter 1. So first, what is Rizal Law? Before natin itahan ng Rizal Law, so it was enacted on June 12, 1956 and also known as the Republic Act 9 number 1425. So Rizal Law requires all educational institutions from elementary to tertiary to teach the exemplary life, works, and writings of Dr. Jose Rizal. So, why it needs to be taught to everyone, to the youth, especially to the youth? It's because to prom- it will remind them of the vital role that individuals can play in shaping nation's destiny and through our country's history. So Rizal Law, of course, it is Rizal. So it was named after him, Dr. Jose Rizal. And, di ba, Rizal Law requires all education institutions to teach the exemplar, exemplary life, works, and writings of Dr. Jose Rizal. So napil na dito ang Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, which is mao na siyang mga books ni Dr. Jose Rizal nga mag-expose og mga bullies bitaw, mga injustices nga gipang mga maltreatment kang ginabuhat sa mga Spaniards sa una.
Although it faced oppositions particularly from Catholic Church nga nagdebate silang Claro M. Ricto before pa mabuhat ang Rizal Law since dili man mag-agree ang mga Catholic Church, specifically these Catholic parishioners, Senador Mariano G. Cueneco, Francisco Rodrigo, and Decoroso Rosales to pursue ang pagtudlo sa Rizal works and writing since madaot ang Katoliko. Sa laing bahin si Congressman Jacobo Z. Gonzales mapaila usab sa House Bill number 5561 sumasamang kopya sa Senate Bill number 438 ang mga debate sa ubos sa balay gihulagway nga live liar and more impassioned than the upper house diin halos maiulbo ang kumo sa magkaatbang nga mga kampo diri na lang nakukwaon. Significance of the Rizal Law in the Philippines. First, promote civic responsibility. Second, encourage cultural awareness and appreciation. Third, fosters nationalism and patriotism. Fourth, promotes critical thinking and analysis of history. Last is a worthwhile model and inspiration to all Filipinos. Ang kolonisasyon sa Espanya sa Pilipinas nagsugod sa pag-abot ni Ferdinand Magellan nga usa ka Portuguese explorer nga isip komisyon ni Haring Charles ay sa Espanyol niadtong year 1521 bisan tuod opisyal nga gitukod sa Espanya ang pagmando niini niadtong year 1565 sa pagkatukod sa Manila naghimo siya og mahigalaon nga relasyon sa pipila ka mga lokal nga lumulupyo labi na si Raja Humabon sa Cebu iyang gikabig ang tibuok komunidad lakip ang Raja og ang iyang asawa. Sa sinugdanan wala tuyuan ni Magellan og sa iyang mga tawo nga makigubat sa mga dato sa Mactan, kay gusto lang ni Magellan nga makabig sila sa Katolisismo. Apan sila lapu-lapu nga dato sa Mactan dili kaayo mo dawat niining bagong relihiyon, kay kang Raja humabon misukol ang mga lokal og nakahukom si Magellan nga kwaon ang Mactan pinaagi sa kusog ni atong Abril year 1521 napatay si Ferdinand Magellan sa gubat sa Mactan. The conversion of the natives to Catholicism. The Spanish conquest of Manila marked a significant turning point in the colonization of the Philippines. They established Manila as the capital and began converting the local population to Catholicism. However, the Sulu Islands and Mindanao remained Muslim. The Spanish did not conquer northern Luzon, but eventually they extended their religious efforts to northern Luzon, converting indigenous people to Catholicism. Despite initial resistance, the process was completed in the 20th century, with many indigenous peoples maintaining their traditional beliefs alongside their Christian faiths. The key tactics of the key tactics used by the Spanish to convert the natives all over the islands are the alliance, force, persuasion, and cultural assimilation and education.
So yes, the 19th century. So this is a century of change during 1801 to 1900s. So this century was the change and transformation across various of various aspects of human life, including politics, society, philosophy, science, art, and of course our culture. So these are the four major events that happened during that time. The first is the Napoleonic Wars during 1803 to 1815, where the conflicts of Napoleon against European coalitions and the abolition of slavery in the West. Third is the American Civil War, which is the conflict between the Union and Confederacy over slavery and states' rights. And of course, the rise of new imperialism and anti imperialism during the late 19th and early 20th century. Of course, I think everyone are familiar with this. Several influential schools of thought since na-teach naman ni sa ato na thought na-teach na tulo naman ni sa ato. First is the Romanticism. So yes, Romanticism emphasizes emotion, nature, and individualisms. Next one is the Transcendentalism, which the movement stressing spiritual connection with the nature and self-reliance. So these are the some influential school of thought. Next is next in the next page. So yes, this is the next one, which is more Marxism. So as you can see in the picture, it's it focuses on class struggle and economic systems, about wealth, the wages, the low ranking class, and the high ranking class. Next is the existentialism, where philosophy emphasizing individual existence, freedom, and choice. So those are the four rise of several influential schools of thought during the 19th century.